Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. And we welcome you to one of the most popular golf courses on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course. Fans are streaming in, anticipating a highly contested event with the best golfers in the world.
One reason the fans love this course so much, Rich, the green mile. It's fine to have a good golf course, but it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. That will be a great look at birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's an important birdie right there, into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot will play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side.
Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Well, very impressive, and on the move right now. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards, the third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually, in a straight line, it's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot under there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's at sneaky distance.
Starting to make the move, now to -3 with yet another birdie. And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment.
Good contact, good result. Frank, it's kind of cool if your golf course has a menacing name for the finishing stretch. There's the Bear Trap at PGA National, the Gauntlet at TPC Sawgrass, and here at Quail Hollow, the Green Mile. Does it earn the nickname?
Rich, I don't know about the name, but I think if you want to look at 3 holes in a row that are really going to get your attention, perhaps wreck your card, then 16, 17, and 18 at Quail Hollow are the ones. You know, 16 a par 4 over 500 yards, 17 is just fraught with disaster, and then 18 requires you hit your best tee shot. I think even if those holes were in 3 different parts of the golf course, that get your attention.
Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th.
Oh, he's winding this one up. Doesn't have the power, though. Grab the fire extinguisher, put out that ball is on fire. It's melting going through the air. Smoked that one.
Ooh, he squeezed that one, Frank.
That is the champion of the mashes. He mashed up. I don't know if that button can be used again after that.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is a beauty, a real beauty. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. Frank, this is where you know that players like Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy are playing a different game than guys like me. They step up to this 250-yard par 3 and they might hit 5-iron. It is a little downhill, but they might be with a middle iron. A lot of us would be with a driver.
Well, you see the advantage of that power on this very hole, not just because of the length they got to hit it, but the green they're heading into. This green slopes off in both directions, right and left, so you have to land that ball in the middle of the green. So, yeah, it's a big advantage if you can go at this hole with like a 5-iron.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting. Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be. This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Welcome to the home of the Wells Fargo Championship, where the likes of Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and long-hitting J.B. Holmes have all won. It was first opened for play in 1961. It has really grown through the years, and it is now played by the best in the world. Rich Loader alongside Frank Novello for EA Sports. Let's jump down to the golf course. Par yesterday, now for birdie. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. 3rd place now.
Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Setting up for this next approach, our featured player starting to pick it up after that less than stellar start to the round.
But as we know, Rich, golf is such a streaky game. Perhaps now this player can catch fire and put together some good holes in a row.
I like the looks of this one. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. And getting ready for the putt. Wow, and with that eagle, Frank, now only 2 shots back.
All of a sudden put the name back into the mix just when we thought it might be too late.
Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4/8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Frank, mistake-free golf. You hope you can keep it together. Possibility of a very special round here.
Yeah, the only real thing to worry about is not to get too far ahead of yourself. At the moment, the swing looks tremendous. And just keep the round ticking over, one hole at a time. I know it sounds like a cliche, but right now, he's exactly where he wants to be.
Just a little tap in here. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run.
Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This is a good-looking shot. Just a pure strike. A perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile, and we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello.
Ball just took off the face.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Frank, I mean, he put the thumb down on that one.
And kept it going, too. To mash that down like that, that's the air time, the hang time he got out.
Early part of this second 9, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no 2 holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one slightly downhill, the fairway tilts a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. These putts keep the round together.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's an outrage right there. I mean, if there's a high commission of golfdom, we need to consult them right now because it's just simply not fair, Frank. It's not.
I think the people above are frowning on the people below.
It's a solid par right there, Frank.
Yeah, he'll be moving to third place, inching his way to the top of the leaderboard.
Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Right about 9 feet here to the hole. And with that birdie, moves into second place. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong three-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards as the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard three-wood trying to run it down is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk. Even par currently.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
He said he's going to be disappointed. Chance for back-to-back.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy, that 62 that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year back in 2010, and of course that playoff too. Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world #1 Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away, but for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And now he has this for the birdie. With that birdie, moves one shot closer to the lead. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
Appears to be tracking well. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Oh, a huge birdie right there, Frank.
Just one back now.
Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus it's yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
That is just a beautiful shot. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That is classy.
I had a chance of going in.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
One more birdie, and now tied for the lead.
Now to the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Too bad, misses the putt and an opportunity.
Really. This is an awkward length.
That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. Frank, that bogey really hurts. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with a driver. Nothing in between.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie.
Oh, that birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. We're now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those two bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill.
That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a line like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed the bunny. That's like